What it is, y'all, it's your old boy Pilk, and I'm coming back today with another Konosuba video. Now, I happen to realize something. I was actually going through the battle arena here, and I haven't been terribly happy with my numbers. Now, I got some pretty good numbers up here, but for the amount of work that I've done into my unit, or done to my units at this point, the amount of work I've put into my units, I guess if I was going to really phrase that properly, I'm not altogether enthused by that score. I really feel like I should be higher up. And the honest answer here is, guys, and this is something that I think is really easy to overlook, but if you are not getting the adequate scores that you expect out of the modern events, you might be missing something. So currently in the game, there have been a number of modifications to basically the upgrade systems. So number one, if you actually go over to the smithy, a lot of weapons now have a level 7. So you can actually upgrade weapons pretty far. Like, weapons can go absolutely crazy in their modern era. There are all kinds of options to get weapons really high. So like right here, the cursed sword, I could take that up to level 6, and I probably, or from level 6 to level 7. So I really need to do that to make sure I'm getting the most out of that weapon. You can see I've got a few down here that are completely maxed. But more than even that, that is just weapons, and that's one aspect of this. The biggest aspect of this, and it's something we talked about before, but I think is probably not as paid attention to as probably needs to be, and that is the character upgrades. Now, obviously, when you go in here, let's just grab Kazuma for the sake of it. I don't think Kazuma is very well leveled up because I don't use him very much. But obviously, if you go into the Trial of the Ancients, you know, we have our 3 panels. Now, we've got this panel, which I have not unlocked because I'm lacking some of the ancient coins. That, and I just don't use Kazuma very often. We have 2 whole panels that I can unlock, and that would get his weapon up to level 7. That's very nice. We've also been given, if I go back over here and go to the upper panel, we've been given an extra panel for an extra set of attacks, and we've given a whole bunch more panels over here that we could really pay attention to. So there are lots of ways to unlock extra power, but that's not even the end of it. Now, once again, I'm using Kazuma as an example. I do want to just point it out. I've said it 3 times already, but I'm using Kazuma as an example because Kazuma is a unit that I have not put a huge amount of work into. I like the legendary Kazuma, but don't have him, and frankly, I just don't use my Kazuma units very often. So I'm using like a very underused unit here as an example. Definitely most of my panels look a lot better than this. But the one thing you really need to pay attention to above all else, and this is super, why don't we say above all else? I'll say in connection with the other stuff we've got. So along with all that, we actually did get some extra levels unlocked here, but the ability board for these units is important. You'll notice that Kazuma has like nothing done as an ability. So if I had the legendary Kazuma, obviously I'd be building out, what is it? I think is he wind? I think he's wind. I'd probably be building out the panel for wind. So if I go up here to select blessing, I would go water, wind, and just like basically max that out. Now, being that I don't use this unit terribly often, and these items are still fairly hard to come by, you know, you remember when Beast Stones first dropped and Dragon Jewels first dropped, it's kind of how these items are at the moment. So they're not the easiest thing in the world to come by. That's the unfortunate reality. But if you're picky about your units, and for me, I know that there's some units that I definitely use more often than others, especially in the current events. Your Aquas, your Whizzes, I've even been using, you know, Kameko a lot lately. She just got a huge amount of upgrades. Any unit that you're using in the modern realm of your game. So if you're really looking to upgrade your battle arena, that's the funny part, is in this current, I guess, era of gaming, and I think for the past like maybe year, I have had more trouble with the regular battle arena than the battle arena EX. Battle arena EX usually gives you a weird mission, and it's really easy to beat, which you'd expect EX to be a little harder, but you know, it is what it is. Maybe they'll upgrade that at some point. But Battle Arena for me has been the one that I like to crack top 5,000, and I haven't done that in a while because some of my potential blessings haven't been where they need to be. Now, there are several ways to make sure you're getting all your potential blessings. Number one, when you are running events, if you can, and I will emphasize if you can, because not all of them are even feasible, those extreme missions. I have quite a few extreme missions that I cannot beat yet because I have not upgraded my teams enough. So those extreme missions are extremely important, especially right now, because as you guys know, we have the Lady Golem attack is currently on. So event quests give you your boosts in that one. So in essence, and you'll notice here I'm lacking a little bit still in my expert run. So in essence, you need to be running the extreme ones every single day. You get one run on each extreme every day, and that gives you points for your Lady Golem attack. Number 2, make sure you guys are doing the dungeon on the regular, because it's going to give you all kinds of upgrade items. Now, I know that these are really for the weapons, but that also helps out drastically. So you need to take advantage of every option available at your disposal. And you can already tell here what items I really have been neglecting hard. But other than that, everything is laid out for you there, and everything is given to you. Just make sure that you are being decisive about the units you upgrade. Because I don't know about you guys. For me, and if I go back to my team here, I already know what units I use on the regular. I know what units that I'm going to use fairly frequently. Cosma, not one of them, I hate to admit, but it is true. But if I have like my Legendary Chris and things like that I want to utilize, obviously those units get first. That new Kameko, when I actually did the full upgrades to her, I was really impressed with her numbers. So maybe it's a good time to start looking at what you have, looking at the units you use regularly, and making sure they're absolutely up to point. Because I don't know about you guys, I really want to do better in Battle Arena, and it's going away here tomorrow. So I've got 24 hours, a little more than 24 hours to make that happen. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Like, comment, share. I'll be back with more Konosuba for you guys here really soon.